Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer is expected to raise the situation in Gaza when he meets U.S. President Donald Trump in Scotland on Monday. The political world is on edge as Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer prepares to meet U.S. President Donald Trump in Scotland on Monday. But this isn't just another polite diplomatic handshake. This meeting is set against the backdrop of one of the worst humanitarian crises in recent history. Gaza's on the brink, and the failure of world leaders to act decisively has left millions paying the price. Starmer is expected to applaud U.S. efforts to broker a ceasefire, but let's not pretend this is a triumph. The so-called peace process is in absolute shambles. Just days ago, critical talks in Qatar aimed at halting the violence and securing hostage releases collapsed. Why? Because both the U.S. and Israel abruptly yanked their negotiating teams, leaving the entire operation to crash and burn. That's not leadership, that's abandoning humanity in real time. And now Starmer is walking into a meeting that could either salvage international credibility or expose the entire farce for what it is. He's being briefed to welcome Trump's role in seeking a ceasefire, but the grim truth is staring everyone in the face. While these leaders posture and strategize, people are starving to death. Aid agencies have been screaming the same warning. For weeks, mass starvation is imminent. And yet, what's the plan? Dropping aid packages from the sky, like it's some twisted PR stunt. Humanitarian groups have condemned it as reckless and woefully inadequate, calling it what it truly is: political theater for the cameras, while lives slip away below. Israel, long shielded by unwavering alliances, is now being forced to face a tidal wave of pressure from even its closest partners. The optics are turning toxic. Every day without a ceasefire fuels outrage worldwide. And in the middle of this storm, Starmer is about to sit across from Trump, a man whose approach to global crises swings between chaotic showmanship and calculated self-interest. This is no small challenge. It's a minefield that could blow up Starmer's credibility in an instant. Make no mistake, this meeting isn't about diplomacy, it's about survival. Not just for the people of Gaza, but for Starmer's reputation. The British public is watching, and they are furious. They don't want polite statements or hollow promises. They want answers. They want action. They want to know why. In 2025, with the world watching, leaders are still failing to prevent the mass starvation of civilians trapped in a war zone. The collapse of the Qatar negotiations was a turning point. It exposed the shocking fragility of the so-called international effort and left a gaping wound in global trust. This meeting in Scotland has become the last thread holding together any illusion that world leaders are serious about ending the bloodshed. If Starmer comes back with nothing but vague sound bites and stage photo ops, the backlash will be brutal. People are tired of excuses. They are sick of seeing leaders play politics while innocent lives are lost. This is the moment where history will judge. Will Starmer stand firm, demand immediate action, and force the world to face its moral responsibility, or we fold under the weight of political pressure, offering nothing but carefully scripted lines while Gaza's suffering continues? The stakes couldn't be higher, and the consequences couldn't be more unforgivable. As Monday approaches, one thing is clear. This is no longer just about policy. It's about humanity. Every delay, every diplomatic failure, translates into more graves being dug, more families ripped apart, and more trust in leadership shattered. For Starmer, this is a defining moment. Get it right, and he can finally show moral courage on the world stage. Get it wrong, and he will be exposed, humiliated, and forever tied to one of the most disgraceful failures of international leadership in modern times. UK News will be watching. The world will be watching. And the furious public, ready to hold every single leader accountable, won't let this slide into another chapter of excuses and political cowardice. This meeting isn't just high stakes, it's life or death.